players, there are more competition, and in the end, there's more interesting matchups.
Yeah, and the caliber of all the teams is a lot higher. It's not just that they're, getting better and that there's more teams that are competing. The whole standard is rising as well, which is what is so enjoyable about the whole thing, that it's everyone across the board is just taking that step forward and making sure that they're known in the scene. But looks like we might be finally into pick a man. Unless the Magical Pixies are whispering in your ear again.
They have no information coming out from picks at all. Lulu has abandoned me, and we, I think, are in for picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. MnM on the blue side with Misfits Academy on the right. Zaya, Tam Kenshin, Gangplank banned away from the side of MnM, while the Misfits Academy are looking at that Alistair, that Zac, and you would imagine maybe throwing one into that top lane just to try and put Only Angel onto some kind of pressure. No, they actually prioritize getting Tivity off the Zoe, and MnM, they've got first ban. Tam Kench will not be picked this time at all, so I'm curious to see what the bot lane matchup will be like.
Yeah, no Tam Kench, no Alistair means we're probably looking towards that Brom or the Janna as well. Rosefar has been playing a little bit, but he's also been messing around with the likes of Shen and stuff as well, which I personally love to see. So he's got a plethora of champions that he can pick up, but is looking towards that Brom on the first rotation. Does work quite well against Tristana, especially when she'll be looking to get that charge, stack up those hits as well to explode, but not be looking to do so when you've got the Brom shield in front of you. That Unbreakable will remove most of that. We'll also be looking towards Affliction. Wouldn't be surprised to see them. I was about to say lock in the Galio here. He's been left open with that Tristana gone. And this is where you're now in a very scary boat as MnM. You need to have some sort of disengage in the early stages to make sure that this Galio doesn't just overtake you. You also got to make sure that you're going to have some sort of wave clear on your mid lane as well, because when you look at the Galio pick up this early, they're going to be looking towards that 1-3-1. So you need wave clear in multiple lanes to make sure you're safe. And there you go. The disengage is coming through already. You have that Taric will have that ultimate available as a special even is going to be coming down with the ultimate as well. So they've got the answer for that. Now they just need the answer in the split push.
Yeah, they've got their bot lane locked and loaded. They have got the Corki as well. Tivity doesn't know his way around that champion. Has played it a little bit and has got a lot of damage in that late game. Needs to rush those crit items. Definitely kind of benefits from the crazy amount of AP/AD he gets from all items ever. But locked in for the Camille. That's going to be potentially a jungle for Afflict or a top lane for Shikari. We tend to see Shikari go for more tanky top laners, but it does not mean he cannot play the carry top laners as we go into second ban phase.
I just love the combo between the Galio and the Camille. We saw it in the last game where they just work so well together. So it's just a case of they will put that Camille anywhere and she will just do her job because she's got the backup of the Galio there as well. So it's just opening up this map so much for Misfits, opening up their options so much as well. We'll have to see what they are going to be looking to ban in these second phases. Right now it looks like 80 carries on the side of MnM. It's going to be junglers coming through for Misfits. So they already know they've got one locked in for themselves, so they're free to get rid of the Sejuani, most likely the Jarvan here as well, or could even look towards the Jax or something as well, but looks like they are going to go towards that Jarvan ban.
Yeah, Jarvan, Sejuani, Zac, the big three taken away. You would almost think the Camille jungle would nearly be a thing at this point, but Nidalee is still available, as is Kha'Zix, as the Caitlyn is the final ban out of MnM. They've piled 3 bans into that AD carry role. Really want to try and give Jokerism a little bit of an up on this Chrisberg. Chrisberg, he's not, you know, rank 5 ADC for nothing. He's got plenty of champions to go around.
Yeah, he'll have still have a good few there. I mean, we have seen the Twitch could be going for that. He is going to go for that Sivir as well. So there's going to be a massive amount of wave clear in that bottom lane. So it's going to be looking to see if they can make these engages happen with that on the hunt. It's going to be interesting to see as well, because once they open up into this 1-3-1 style, they've now got a huge amount of engage coming through. You're going to have that on the hunt to move the remaining members in as alongside Special and Shikari as they look for the dive. But Only Angel has answered with the Malphite. We've seen this pick quite a lot in this tournament.
Yeah, the Malphite seems to be fairly popular. I would love for it to be a Volibear. Volibear was one of the first champions I ever played. Brought me from level 1 to 20 exclusively. But I highly doubt, because he is absolute garbage right now. Just gets kited out and destroyed by absolutely everybody. But the Nunu may well be it, or actually, I was just going to say, more likely to be the Skarner picked up. So you got yourself a fairly beefy front line with a lot of CC, with some pretty good damage to back it up. MnM, they won't be too upset with the draft they've picked up.
They will be on a timer, though. This is the thing. Shikari, if he is on that Camille, will eventually just outscale the Malphite. And as well, there it is, Afflict on the Rengar. So we know it's now Shikari in the top lane. Afflict, when he was playing this last time into the Jarvan, he took over the jungle for minute 3. He was constantly in the face of Jarvan and just stole everything, was trying to force him out of the jungle, and it worked incredibly well. Now Scudzy is going to have his work cut out for him, as the Skarner is most certainly going to struggle against this Rengar. Does have the CC there, so will help him out a little bit, but it's still not an ideal situation. And this is where I like to see the comp that's coming through from Misfits. Rengar into something that wants to split push is fantastic, because he can just go into these blind spots in the jungle, rotate into lanes, and very quickly turn those situations into 2v1s or whatever way they want to work it. This is great when you're looking at this Shikari, who can force that engage. Special, who can also force the engage with the taunt. So it means that then there's no escape on the side of MnM. This means that MnM have to be the ones proactive in the early game. They have to make sure that Misfits Academy don't get up to that level. Because if they're not able to find the team fights where they're able to utilize the Malphite, utilize the Skarner, they're in a heap of trouble, because they will just fall prey to the Rengar, to Shikari, and to the Galio in the split push.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it all goes down. But like you said, a lot of kill pressure, a lot of roaming capabilities. You've got Galio ult, you've got the Rengar ult, which is almost a global in itself, being able to run around invisible so quickly. And you've got Camille able to do the 1v1s. Malphite is pretty good in the team fights, but if you don't get the team fights, and this is kind of what we've been seeing a lot of the quote-unquote lower level teams go with these team fight orientated comps to try and negate the 1-3-1s of the side, like bigger sides of like XL, Misfits Academy, and Diablos. It doesn't seem to have worked so far. Enclave claimed the closest. We'll have to see if MnM can take it that one step further, because this is the fourth game of the day. It's our final game of the day. They got to come up big to keep their playoff hopes alive.
I feel like I need a counter for the amount of times I've said 1-3-1 this today. It's just, but it's one of the strongest styles to play. We were looking at the team fight scenario when you had the Kog'Maw and everyone there, but now when you see Galio rise up, the Rise is being pushed down, Azir not even being thrown around as much anymore. Now the 1-3-1 style has risen, because we're looking at these junglers that can dive so effectively, the Sejuani, the Zac, and when you have the likes, even the Camille jungle as well, means that they're able to get in. And a lot of even the lower tier junglers that we're seeing in competitive, the likes of Jax, excel in these scenarios where they can just dive people underneath towers. So, but to do so, because they're slightly squishier, you need to draw multiple members out across the map to force your objectives that way, which is why we're seeing the likes of these styles come through. Right now though, forget about the later stages. Misfits want to start this one off early.
Yeah, but they were caught out there by Tivity, so Tivity knows exactly what's going on, where they're all going, and they're going to put down some deep wards of their own. And this is kind of what we see a lot of the times. When teams go aggressive, you back away, you put down your own deep vision, and vice versa. Nothing too huge gained from either side. You see, Misfits were hoping to see some kind of lackadaisical play, but none to be found. And then everyone backs away. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, vision control galore in the bottom and top side of the jungle, respectively, for these guys. So we'll have to see where they decide to make the plays. Afflict will be spotted out, actually, as I say that, though. Only Angel and Scudzy are here.
Yeah, they're actually going to jump in on top of them. They have got a pretty good level 1 with the Skarner. Afflict forces the flash away. Now Scudzy in a lot of trouble. He's forced the flash away with no damage left. First blood for the Skarner. He dies to Camille, though, so they end up trading. Shikari still has flash. He will be able to get away from this potentially without having to use it. Never mind. He does end up using it. Both junglers fall. One jungler got a kill. One got assist. Honestly, I don't even know who really wins that one. I want to say that that one kind of goes over to MnM, but Galio gets a free push in the mid lane now, as well as MnM getting a free push in the top lane. It's kind of even.
Yeah, Tivity is forced a long way back to his mid lane home, which means that he's going to lose out on some of this CS. First wave even has already been shoved in by the Galio, but we'll be able to pick up a large portion of the CS here. So not the end of the world, but most certainly Scudzy will be happy to just slow down what Afflict can do. And that's the biggest problem for them right now, is making sure Afflict can't run rampant in his jungle like we saw that he's capable of before. They're just trying to shut him down. They're doing good at the moment, but because both junglers are starting without a leash, it's going to be a case of how do they recover from this.
Yeah, it really is about how they come back, how they really look for those advantages and see exactly what goes on. Skarner, though, will feel a little bit better than the Rengar. Will have a little bit of extra gold going back and got those boots, so was able to roam around a little quicker. And I feel like that's actually kind of a big thing, but at the same time not. It should be interesting, like you said, to see how he uses that small advantage. But I like that little adaptation from MnM, trying to just keep, you know, Misfits guessing, keep them trying to go for these weird kind of opportunities and try and gain anything they can.
Yeah, and what we said is they're on a timer. They need to make sure that they are making these aggressive plays, or else they will just be outscaled. Particularly when you're looking at Shikari versus Oni Angel. That's the matchup that I want to see turn. It will be an Oni Angel's favor to begin with, but as Camille starts to scale up and get those items, that'll be a very, very different story. So this is the one that's really going to be on, that I want to keep an eye on, to make sure that it's Shikari falling behind and not taking over.
Have to wait and see. Tivity is about a level or half a level behind at this stage, as he did lose that wave to the turret. Afflict now in that kind of top side mid lane jungle. They'll be looking for a little bit more aggressive play, and they can do this when they know that the Skarner on the opposite team. They know they can make these kind of moves because they know that there's no real kind of punishment for them doing it.
Especially when Afflict has already cleared his topside jungle. So there's nothing for them to get unless they want to look for special. Yeah,
they do want to look for special, putting a lot of damage, but even at this early stage, he's very, very tanky. Scudzy just showing that he's present and he will put down the pressure this early on, but no Summoner's Burn, being the special is pretty A-okay.
Yeah, he will be fine, but this is what I wanted to point out. Afflict was picking up the Raptors, whereas Scudzy was getting nothing. Level 4 to level 3, when we're talking about Scudzy getting the advantage, you can already see that Afflict is well on his way to recover. And Skarner isn't really going to do much with the extra kill. Yes, he's got the boots, but it's not really going to help you out hitting an item breakpoint or getting that extra damage, whereas Rengar really needs the levels, really needs those items. So the fact he's no longer behind is actually quite bad for MnM.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue for them, but we'll have to see if they can make anything happen. It's pretty even on gold right now. TP used there by Special. We see Afflict off to the top side of that jungle as well on the river. Tivity using the last bit of a mana for a Prosperous Bomb. I'm going to back away. We go Cull first item, you know, assuming he shouldn't be getting killed. With a flash, a Valkyrie should be totally fine. Prosper will take a little bit of damage. When I say a little bit, I mean a minuscule. As they all just back away. And honestly, like you talked about, the longer these games go on, the more Misfits look powerful. But MnM, they want to try and fight over objectives. Mountain Drake would be one of those objectives they would probably want to fight around. We'll have to see if they can actually get those fights, though.
Misfits are very calculated when they make their aggression, though, and right now they're going to be waiting on the level 6 for the bottom side of the map. They want to make sure that they've got the On the Hunt from Chrisberg, they've got the ultimate from the Braum as well, to just run down the bottom lane and then have Special come in to help them out as well. They don't really want to try and force anything too soon because they don't know what's going to happen if Scudzy's there or if the Rengar can't come down to help. So this is where we're going to wait just a little bit longer until they can go through with that plan.
MnM need to try and find something, though. They need to make the Skarner pick work, even if they just use the Impale to get someone, you know, completely off guard. Even the Rengar and blow him up. There are plenty of squishies to choose from on the side of Misfits, but it's all about getting those squishies first, because right now it's hard to see them. Like I said, they're calculated, they're cold in terms of how Misfits do things, and they know when they can and can't go aggressive, and they do it accordingly.
And this is the thing, they've now also got Afflict in that bottom lane to be that engage if needs be. That ultimate combo coming through with special can be absolutely devastating when you've got Prosphere to back you up on top of that. There's so much that they can do, and this is what I was talking about, the options that their comp gives them to at the moment as well. Special now will be pushing in this lane and will most likely dip down into that vision that they've already gotten on the bottom side of the river. You can see Prosphere made his way up to make sure that he could clear out the vision, and now you've got to play scared on MnM. The bot lane cannot go up aggressively to try and take this CS. The Sivir is frozen because they don't know where Rengar is, they don't know where the Galio is, and this is a big issue for them.
Well, I did see the Rengar taking that pink ward up by his red buff, so they will know where he was. But like you said, don't want to really fight a level 6 Galio this early on, especially when you are looking to try and scale with that Cull on your Corki and the Tristana just in general. But so far so good. I know it's only about 8 minutes into the game, but MnM have slowed the tempo a little bit. The slating phase will go on for quite a while, you would imagine, just based on how the lanes are going, unless Afflict or Scudsy can make something work.
Yeah, we can see Afflict time and time again getting into the enemy jungle. He knows he's got the backup of special, so he's free to do so and try and be an absolute nuisance to Scudsy. And this is what we've seen from Afflict on Rengar before. What we normally see is a Rengar being quite passive in the early stages, getting to that level 6 and going aggressive, but Afflict has shown a very different style of play on this champion, where he knows he's got the backup of his laner, so he's free to go aggressive, see if he can pick up these early kills. Hasn't found them so far, but the vision control that he's gained has been so helpful for his team.
Special picking himself up a blue buff, going to keep him wave clearing fairly frequently in this mid lane, but 20 CS now ahead. We'll have a wave crashing in, so it'll probably be about 15. Chikari and Only Angel. We've seen this matchup before. You mentioned it in Pick a Ban, the Malphite into Camille. It doesn't really have any clear winners. It's more about who can dictate the pace, and I'm curious to see if Only Angel can make the plays possible that will actually give him the advantage in the team fights.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and he doesn't quite have that TP available where Shikari does, so they're trying to hold on for that on the side of MnM. As you were saying, you want on the Misfits to make sure that you're able to utilize that Galio alongside your dive potential coming through, whereas the other side, you want to make sure you got the Malphite. However, it looks like Rengar's got caught out.
Yeah, Afflict goes down, didn't burn his flash, didn't know where, or sorry, he knew that the Corki was coming in and didn't know that he was dead to rights anyway, and that's a big mistake, big pickup there for MnM. And it looks like a pretty big one. Afflict, he's not having the best of starts right now. The Skarner having a little bit more impact.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to escape there. He was caught between a rock and a hard place. His Malphite had that wave pushed into the top lane as well, so even if he tried to run, there would have been nowhere to go. There's just too much CC there, and with that, Jokerism has made his way up to the top side, so they're now going to pick up first tower as well. So MnM already putting their stamp on this game, saying that they've come to play.
Yeah, getting the momentum, getting that quick turnaround, the quick switcheroo. They will trade turrets eventually, but like you said, ahead of the curve. They do give up bot lane control, and you would imagine with the amount of pink wars that are down there, the side of Misfits will look to pick that one Mountain Drake up, but they will trade it as well for a Rift Herald. I like what MnM is trying to do. I like that they're pushing and trying to get as much as they possibly can. Bot lane tier 1 does fall, but again, ahead of the play, getting the rotations out, making sure they're the ones who are dictating the pace. I like it from MnM. They seem to have found a newfound confidence, and it's really looking good for them right now.
It's also very calculated as well. When you look at what MnM wants to achieve in these early stages of the game, we've said it countless times, it's making sure that they can accelerate the game, utilize the power spikes that they're getting from that Corki, have their safety in the Tristana, but they really don't want to go to the late stages, because that's where Misfits can win. What they're looking to do instead is get these towers down as fast as possible, and that's what the Rift Herald likes them to do. Now, you can argue, yes, that's great, the Mountain can do the same, but it's not going to be the same with the way MnM want to play. MnM are not looking to go and siege up these turrets where they can utilize the Mountain Drake. They're not looking to go and burst down a Baron very, very quickly. They're looking to find the fight, but they found one from the other side.
Oh, Tivity, no vision on that bot side whatsoever. Gets jumped on. Rengar ult and the Camille ult both expended, as well as Chrisberg's on the hunt, but it's just little things like that. They can just jump on you and delete you. There's nowhere you can go. Should have respected that. You have the range as the Corki. You just needed to back away. But unfortunately for them, they do pay a price in a kill. And gold is pretty much even at this stage right now. And despite those 2 kills on each side, tower each, it is Misfits with that dragon that kind of gives them a little bit of late game pushing, especially with a Baron very much on the cards if it goes to 30 minutes or more.
Yeah, the Mountain Drake certainly helps out Misfits a lot more in this scenario, but it's MnM taking the gamble, saying that we should be able to make this Rift Herald work a little bit more. Right now, though, they haven't been able to find somewhere that they can really utilize this, and this is looking very reminiscent of when Excel picked it up in the last game. Yes, they put it down, they did get some damage down on the turret, but it wasn't really the big game turner that they wanted it to be. And we're hoping that MnM can find a little bit of a different avenue to use it, but Misfits are shutting them down right now.
Misfits doing well to keep the pressure around the map, not kept up in one space where the Taric ultimate, the Malphite ultimate, and the Skarner ultimate could do some serious damage in a team fight. They want to make sure that they're the ones engaging. They're the ones who are looking for those advantages. As Prosper, it's going to be fine. Again, just taking a tickle of damage. As we see another swap, mid laners to the top side, top laners to the bot. Here I am, bot lane in the middle with you.
But looking at this top lane matchup, we were saying how crucial it is for Shikari not to get ahead, and he's now got 2 kills, now has a slight CS lead for himself as well. This is really not where MnM want them to be right now. They're moving in towards this mid lane. The Rift Herald is going to be put down on the back side as well to try and push through onto this turret to see if they can finally get through the Chrisberg pressure.
But like I said, Rift Herald used, does take a good chunk, but no real consistent pressure with Shikari and Afflict hovering to that bot side. And you also have the fact that the ultimate on special is also available for them. Have to wait and see. They did not quite go for the turret. There's so much good wave clear, good consistent wave clear with those ricochets, with those, boomerang blades. The Sivir is just so hard to, kind of siege down, and you need to kill her and then look for your siege.
And this is why Sivir was a great pickup for Misfits. We've seen it countless times, how long she can delay out games just because of that wave clear. Now we're seeing it again in full action, and it's making it so difficult for MnM to enact the game plan that they had. They're now struggling to get this mid lane turret down. They really need to get this if they want to try and open up the map. The best thing I'd like to actually see them do is move into the enemy jungle, get some vision control down, and see if they can get Only Angel out of this lane against the Camille. Get him to get that gank down, get Scudzy in behind enemy lines, and get that Stinger to drag someone out from underneath the turret so they can make the play happen. Because right now, all they're doing is giving more gold, funneling more advantages into Shikari, who will eventually be able to punish the Malphite pick and continue to burst down this lane.
So see that now, Scudzy gonna be stunned. Maybe they go for him now on the back of this. Yes, they do. There's the Taric ultimate as well. Good package to try and separate the fight. Good Taric ultimate as well means that he's gonna be able to stay alive a little bit, but a flick now back into the fight. He's stunned. Will they be able to get out of there? He will use his flash just in time. TP coming in for the Malphite will be cancelled. That's a lot of small summoners burned, a lot of big ultimates burned. But again, Sivir has the wave clear. You're not going to be able to do anything. Unfortunately for both sides, it ends up being a none for none and nothing really happening.
Yeah, you can see how close they were to taking down Afflict, taking down Special. But when Chrisberg is still free on the back line, there's no hope of you touching this tower anytime soon. It's such a frustrating thing to play against. But Misfits now have the control back again in this mid lane. The TP is down for Only Angel, which means, actually, I was going to say Misfits have control, but actually that TP was used by Shikari just to catch that wave in the bottom lane. So they want to make sure they're not losing an ounce of tempo in this game.
Yeah, using their TP advantage pretty much to go farm some minions, but with Dragon up in 35 seconds and no one really pushing up that top side, it would imagine that it would be for that bot side pressure to make sure they have it. And they have 3 pink wards fairly decently along that backside as well, so not doing too badly along the spine of the river in terms of vision. But Triforce completed on the Corki. You've got Static Shiv only for the Tristana. She'll be another good few minutes before she's able to pick up that IE, so definitely Chrisberg with the advantage in terms of itemizations over the AD carries. But looking into this, 4 seconds till the dragon is spawned. It is going to be another Mountain Drake, and you would imagine Misfits would love to get that stacking, get that on the Rengar, get that onto your Sivir, and you will destroy a Baron. And honestly, I don't think there's any contest whatsoever from the side of MnM.
This should be where MnM looks to contest, though, especially when they've got Camille on the bottom side of the map. It means they should be forced to join the fight. You've got Oni Angel there, you've got Scudzy, the ultimates are all available, but they're too late to the party, they can't find their way in. Chrisberg is now stutter stepping his way back into lane, just dancing his way to pick up these minions.
Just showing off a little bit of mechanics there, as we see now.
Oh,
maybe they'll be able to save him, though, not quite. Stun not able to be there, and that is going to be no flash used by Jokerism. He was stun locked, and that could be all the pressure they needed to push in this mid lane. They might not be able to get it, though, on this particular push. You do have the Skarner, you do have the Taric and the Malphite as everyone gets drawn in. That's a flick going down. Corki has come in with the TP. Now they're going to try and turn onto the Malphite. He's tanky, but not that tanky. Will eventually get out just about with his life, but they take the Skarner as a little bit of a reprieve. While this is all happening, though, ladies and gentlemen, Camille in that bot side free farming. I don't even think Tristana wants to go down here. If she does, she'll just die.
Yeah, Misfits do not care about the mid lane tower when they're getting the pressure on the tier 2. You're now going to have 2 members go down, which is now going to open up the mid lane for Chrisberg to continue on through. Look how low that tower has gotten. And this is the thing, Misfits. You think that you're going to make the play, you think you're going to have the advantage, but when you've already lost Jokerism, there's just no damage to follow up on a great engage from MnM. That's the one that I would have loved to see down at that Dragon Pit before they lost it all. But this is where Misfits shine. The vision control for them right now is everywhere, and MnM have been losing that game consistently. 0 wards in that topside river means that Galio just walks at Tristana and ends up picking up the kill. No flash burn, or sorry, he did burn the flash, but even then he should never be that close where he's able to get onto Jokerism without even so much as a second thought.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a misstep there from Jokerism on the side of MnM. As they look to try and pressure this, they're so desperate to open up this mid lane turret. You get that mid lane turret, you open up so much of the map. We talk about it almost every single game we ever cast together. It's so much pressure, so much advantage, just, you know, cutting off that easy escape route. It's the shortest route, but it is also the best one to take down as quickly as possible.
It's also a big issue that they haven't gotten the bot lane turret for MnM as well. You can see Oni Angel is stunted in how far you can push this wave up, because that turret is just going to bounce that wave consistently, which works so well in favour of Shikari. By not having that down, they're not able to get the wraparound of the turret in the mid lane, and it just makes Misfits' day so much easier, because they can continue to stick a flick in these bushes and see if anyone walks close, looking at maybe Camillus, but he is spotted out.
Yeah, nice little trinket there. Make sure that the flick does not... Oh, actually pops his ultimate just to back away. Has got Predator on top of him. So just stutter stepping his way over and backing away straight away. But back in with this mid lane. MnM still searching for that move. Still searching for the wave clear to stop them from getting this, you know, advantage. And Sivir is just... Chrisberg doesn't even have to leave and get items. He can just stay here farming all day. He will literally never get any better for the side of MnM.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to find some way to get Oni Angel involved in this mid lane. Doesn't have the flash available right now, though, so can't be that big engage that we saw in the mid lane when they were pushing in towards that tower. But this means that then they are slowly starting to make the plays by keeping that wave shoved up against the tower. Actually, looks like with Shikari backing now, they might be able to look for something TP is available. I don't know if MnM will spot that they have a slight opportunity here, but with so much protection coming through from Prosphere, Chris Berg has that spell sheet available. You're looking at a very kind of a Hail Mary, to be honest, in this mid lane to see if he can get the engage.
Bot lane taken very, very low, so that could be another objective that could go over the side of MnM if they are lucky for the minion waves, but Shikari back in time to push it back out. Let's have a quick look at the gold. There's a 500 gold lead for Shikari, not really in the bot lane. About a 400, 600 gold for Corki over the Galio. And then it's 1,000 for the Sivir over this Tristana. And Tristana still waiting to pick up that IE. Still waiting for that second item. Looks like Jokerism's going to decide to go back for it now.
Yeah, Galio's back in the top lane, so they're just going to rotate Corki down now to catch this wave, make sure that they're able to hold on to this turret at the moment. It's going to be a bit of a reprieve as well, as you're saying. That Infinity Edge picked up, Tabby's picked up as well for the Tristana, so they're not worried about the damage coming through from Special right now. All they have to worry about is Shikari, is a fix of Chris Berg in these scenarios. But as we're looking, Shikari slowly starting to win out on these trades between himself and Oni Angel, which spells big issues for MnM. Eventually, as we're saying, that's no longer going to be just tit for tat. It's going to be chunks coming out of the Malphite.
Waiting for the next big engage. Flashes all up and ready to go. Summoners a galore. As I say that, it's going to be the Taric who gets caught up and blown up. I think we've seen that play before. And that is another advantage. Yeah, like it's bloody deja vu, and it just happened to be a different person. And Camilius just leaving means that, or not being alive means that this turret is not long for this world. That's going to be so much pressure now for the side of Misfits. Opening up that turret is huge for them.
But watch the difference between MnM trying to get involved and Misfits. Because of that botched play in the mid lane, where they're able to get so much damage down onto the bottom lane tier 2 with Shikari, now MnM are scared to leave that bottom lane because they know they're going to lose that. Whereas when you're looking at the side of Misfits, they were happy to leave the Corki in that top lane. Tivity had no hope of touching that tier 2 tower, which means that they're able to make the play in the mid lane, get that tier 1 tower in for themselves as well. And now Misfits have opened up the map to start pushing in. You can see Galio has back up in the top lane, and eventually MnM are going to send too many members to deal with the pressure coming through in the mid lane, and they'll be able to get one more turret for themselves.
Slowly but surely, the side of Misfits are getting themselves a nice 2k gold lead, while the side of MnM desperately try to take down that turret. 3 or 4 more auto attacks will literally take it down, but with the Sivir just being there around the corner, it just makes it so difficult. As I say that, though, we're going to see it engage straight away onto a flick. There's the Galio ultimate to try and save him, but it's far too little, far too late. There's a nice Taric ultimate to stop all the damage. Malphite solo onto Chris Berg. Chris Berg going to get blocked away. Jokerism goes in solo and dies. The taunt onto Scudzy. He's going to be the next one to fall. Shikari is shredding through this team. Only Angel going to play keep away. The big bouncer trying to keep his friends alive. They are very, very low. A couple more hits from the Corki would be great, but he just hasn't got the health to stay there. It's a 4-for-1, and a Baron is almost certainly on the cards.
This will, as you were saying, most certainly be the Baron, but Jokerism flashing over the wall to try and kill Chris Berg when he's got 3 stacks of the Braum Possum. He goes over the wall and instantly has the Buster shot because he realizes a mistake. Actually, as I say that, Tivity is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Tivity will actually be able to kill Shikari, though, so gets one of the buffs down. They actually have a bit of damage coming out from this. Tivity doing his best to delay backs, trying to stop them. Does take away 1 split push pressure, but unfortunately 4 more have arisen. And it's just not looking good. Now that 2,000 gold lead's a 5,000 gold lead, and Misfits starting to take control.
Tivity does redeem his team a bit there. Getting that Baron buff off of Shikari will give them a little bit of respite, but it's still not what you want. MnM had been holding on for so long, but the cracks were beginning to show, and eventually Jokerism, going a little bit too far forward, costs his team the Baron. And I don't want to put all of this onto him, but I don't know what the thought process there was. That was so questionable, especially when you're going to be stunned up the second you walk in there. Instead, if he just fought with his team, tried to make sure that they're able to take down the front line, they could have pushed on towards these objectives, but now they're on the back foot once again. The 1-3-1 is started up, and the Baron buff is going to make it incredibly difficult to deal with.
They are getting the kills onto a flick. They're getting the nice little move-ups and really trying to keep him out of the game. And yes, to an extent they are, but a 3-0-5 Sivir, a 3-1-3 Camille, and a 2-0-4 Galio are still going to be very relevant in this game. They can't really, you know, misjudge how much those champions are doing in this game. And I just wish that Jokers of... I think it was just a lapse of judgment. Didn't see the Braum passive concussive blows stacked up on top of him. But even then, I'm almost certain every single, like, most AD carry mains or most AD carry pro players will tell you, like, you never flash in after that. There's so many people who can kill you directly afterwards. It's just not worth it. And unfortunately, he gets baited by the low health bar.
And that's the thing, even if he hadn't followed through, Chrisberg was so far out of the fight that the DPS was just non-existent, so he might as well have gone down. Yes, you don't get the gold, but from a team fight perspective, he's got a long way to walk around to get back into that fight. So it ends up being him going too far, and then it's Misfits able to regroup after that misstep. Now, they're in the command seat, but what are they going to try and pick up? Right now, it's going to be the vision game for themselves. Make sure that they can push in towards these objectives, or towards these towers even, without much pressure coming back from the side of MnM. They're going to be going in blind, which is not what you want to do. The Flick, though, as I say that, isn't in the best spot to really be the nuisance that we're expecting him to be. 0-4-4. Only the Dustblade to his name means that, to be honest, Chrisberg is a bit more of an assassin than he is right now.
Yeah, as you see the top side being laid under siege from the side of Misfits Academy. They've got so much good wave clear. Haven't got the best siege, though, in the world because of the short range of Sivir. But definitely doing a little bit better. Galio is hovering towards his bot side. They may look to try and get only Angel. That means it's a 3v4 potential in this top side. But with Baron buff, with the Unbreakable, it is just going to be a lot of chunk damage. Maybe a cannon minion taking it. No, he doesn't take it quite yet. But still, MnM, they're just doing very well.
Yeah, it's bit by bit. This is what we've been seeing time and time again. It's the slow pressure that is the real killer. It's the Galio pushing in the mid lane, just chipping away at the turret. It's these guys in the top lane slowly getting through. Braum throwing up the shield to stop the wave clear, and now they're able to get that turret. You know, see Galio was hovering down towards that bot side to support Shikari as well, especially making sure that his teammate wasn't going to be ganked by multiple members as he picks up another turret for themselves. Now the tier 2 in the mid lane is the only one left standing.
Silver linings for MnM, though. They did well to delay that top tier turret. So normally you see those tier 2s taking a lot of kind of, you know, quick straight damage and they go down straight away, but delaying that delays the Baron buff. It delays a lot of different plays that the side of Misfits can do. But again, it is literally only a silver lining on a very, very dark cloud that is Misfits towering over MnM Gaming. They have to try and find a kill. They have to try and find the fight where they kill the Sivir, they keep the Tristana alive, and they're able to keep everything going for them. Dragon will be up in 7 seconds. That is most likely going to be the next fight. But Camille is in top side with that teleport available. It is an Infernal Drake. The side of MnM want this. They want to be able to have some kind of a late game insurance, but they're going to lose an inhibitor for it. There is the TP coming out from only Angel. Will he be in time? I honestly don't think he is. He's probably not even going to be able to defend that. He has to go and try and back away, but the rest of the team are being collapsed upon in that bot side. Corki forced to use the package on your minimap. You see it's just a sprawl of people. There is the Galio ultimate coming in. Doesn't quite hit onto anybody. Flashes in on top of the Corki. Takes a lot of damage as we see a great Taracle. Keeps everybody 3 people alive. Chrisberg is down. However, Tristana gets the reset now. This could be the fight for MnM. They're trying to go on top of this. Camille might try end the game though before it happens. There it is. Only Angel picks up 1 kill. They're trying to keep going on top of this. They do not have enough. They pick themselves up 2 kills. Camille though is on Nexus turrets. They haven't quite got back there. Never mind. Tivity's just gotten back. But they lose an inhibitor and only gain 2 kills in an Infernal Drake. Not the most worth of trades.
No, most certainly not. And actually, Misfits though, special not out of the woods yet.
Not quite out of the woods. There's the taunt on the 3 people. Jokerism will have a lot of damage put down on top of him. Special will sacrifice himself. They get the 3rd kill, but they haven't got anything else to take. They might be able to go for more kills. People are starting to respawn, though. They're just going to try barrel down this mid lane turret.
Yeah, they will get the first one without much issue, but with no wave there, they cannot push on towards the tier 2. So they do pick up the kills. They're not going to pick up the towers, though, and we're going to have to see how Misfits recover from this. Yes, they've got that tier 1 tower in the top lane. They've got the inhib as well, which is going to make it so much easier for them to control the map now. But MnM are still not out of, as I was saying, not out of the woods. They're not over the hump, and especially when you're looking at everything that Misfits have just picked up, they're still in good shape.
Still in good shape, but have shown that they do bleed. It's Superman versus Batman right now, as MnM just try and find a way to beat down the Goliath gods that are Misfits Academy in this league. And so far, they haven't done an exceptionally bad or good job. It's been fairly okay, and being honest, having looked at most of the games, they've been the closest to Misfits so far this season.
Yeah, I have to say, and especially when we're looking at the way MnM came into this, I would never have expected them to put up the scrap that they have this time around. So even if they're not quite out to finish this game out, I think there's a lot that they can take from this and be proud with the way they played at the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to secure the victory in the mid game, and we're looking at Misfits who have just been so strong at that point in the game that they can only go up and learn from it, but they shouldn't be disheartened by how it's gone.
Yeah, definitely a positive game, regardless of result, for the side of MnM. And as I say that, though, it's actually Afflict who gets caught out. He gets burnt down. That's a good tower cult on the back of that as well. And Jokerism is completely untouched. They're trying to get the damage down. They're trying to stun up people. It's going to be the Galio falling down now as well. But Sivir is doing so much damage. Sivir will be able to shred past people. It's the double kill. It's not quite the triple. It is going to be Tristana. Jokerism trying to just keep the wave away, trying to keep himself alive. Does not quite have the damage. Only Angel not able to get into that fight with no TP. It was cancelled out, I think. As I say that, Jokerism does die. Chrisberg coming out top trumps with the delayed triple kill. 3 for 2 in favor of Misfits, and unfortunate that only Angel couldn't get there. They could have maybe gone for something.
Those team fights in those small enclosed corridors are such a nice edge for these guys. You can see it's great for Only Angel, it's great for Scudzy, and fantastic for Camilius because he can get his ult onto so many members. The issue is, though, the second that Tower Ultimate goes, this is where Chrisberg steps up. Those boomerang blades will shred through multiple members, especially when it's able to bounce between all 5 members. And that's the damage that you saw wreak havoc in that team fight at the end, where multiple members just suddenly went, where the hell is my health bar? It's going to be the Baron going over now as well. Chrisberg showing up on the Sivir, 6-1-5 now. This is great play on a champion that we don't see often enough.
We don't, but has such good potential as well with those team fights. Like you said, those small corridors with the ricochets and the boomerang blades. Once that tower cult's gone, it is just perfect field day for the Sivir. Baron picked up now. They finally get the last outer turret there in favor of MnM as they look to try and go for something else. But like I said, it's just about getting that Sivir. I feel like you kill the Sivir, you win the game if you're on the side of MnM. 6,000 gold behind. It doesn't actually mean that much right now. As I say that, though, Scudzy tries to go in. He gets stunned up, gets knocked up. He might end up going down. There's the knockback, but not onto the person you want it to be. Scudzy's just so slowed. They can't quite jump back on top of him. They do burn 2 ultimates out of it. Will they be able to hold? But the inhibitor is going down. This is just slow but steady for the side of Misfits. They just want to take as many objectives as they possibly can.
Yeah, and tick-tock goes the timer. Shikari is continuously pushing into this Malphite, and there's nothing that he can do. Now they have to bring Tivity down to help out, which means that then they're able to push in the mid lane. Our Misfits have just started to go wild on these turrets and picking them up right, left, and centre.
Yeah. That Sivir will do so much damage to those turrets. Scudzy, I liked the idea. He forced some big ultimates out of them. but wasn't able to get the pick onto Sivir. And it's so difficult too as well. The spell shield, the QSS, so many things to just keep them off this Sivir. It's just crazy to think that they can actually try and CC her down. But with Elder Drake spawning, that is going to be a free one for the side of Misfits. They're going to take this and then most likely look to end the game.
Yeah, 3 dragons as well, so this is going to be a very strong Elder Drake for the side of Misfits. The timer is relatively short, but when you're already knocking on the inhibs, it's enough time for you to definitely sweep through the base. Only Angel now in an even worse position than he once was. The KO completed onto the Camille, and that extra burn damage is just going to be so unfriendly to the Rock.
Yeah, definitely not going to be a fun time. We'll have to wait and see how the side of Misfits go about this now. They haven't got full wave pressure right now. We have a quick look at the gold. As we see, still relatively even in that mid lane. The top lane showing about 3,000 gold. The 80 carries about 4,000 gold. And that's the main chunk of this 9,000 gold lead. But see if MnM can find it. They've got the big items now. They've got the Corki onto those big pits. They've got the Tristana onto those big crit items as well. They just need to try and make it happen. Once Corki gets that rapid fire cannon, I feel like they're in a much better position. But how long will that last? That's the question.
This is where they need to try and find the team fight. Misfits do not do as well as MnM. We've said it, but the problem is, how in the name of God do you go and try and team fight with Shikari's pressuring your Nexus turrets? Jokerism is on wave clear duty right now, but that's only going to be for a limited amount of time. But Shikari making the plays.
I wouldn't even say making the plays. I would just say that's a little bit of a misplay from only Angel, and that just opens up that top lane turret. Jokerism and Camilla is just not in position. Scudzy rotated to that mid lane to try and push it back. Shikari now in a little bit of trouble. Bramblevest going to be a little bit annoying for him. They're trying to push this wave in. They're trying to push in all lanes at the same time. MnM have to hold. They've got the wave cleared. They've got the poke damage. They just need to try and hold it a little bit longer until this Dragon buff wears off.
Yeah, they don't have the ultimate on only Angel for these team fights though, which means there's no real need for Misfits to play safe. There's no engage that can come through. Scudzy is non-existent when you've already got that the QSS and the Mercurial Scimitar completed. Only Angel taking a lot of damage. Rengar ultimate has been popped. Can they find the fight though?
Ooh, we took a lot of damage before that though, so I think he used it defensively rather than to engage. The Malphite up will be up in about 30 seconds. We see Crispberg taking a bit of a chunk. He's going to back away now as well. MnM taking a leaf out of the SKT Jin Air book. They just need to hold. They just need to stop everyone, and Misfits are deterred. MnM, they've done what they needed to do. They survived.
Yeah, and that's a bigger, like a lot big. It sounds like an easy ask, but it's quite a mountain to climb when you're this far behind and when you've got that much pressure as well. Shikari is not letting up on the Malphite. They haven't really been able to get special up towards these towers either, so it's still just as it was before that dragon went over. Now you got Baron in a minute 40, and this is going to be the real question. How can Misfits pick up this Baron? Can MnM get in and find that team fight when Misfits are all grouped up in that one spot? Will Shikari be able to get in onto those Nexus turrets the second only Angel leaves? The big questions have been posed, but it's really going to come down to how is the execution going to play out.
Baron up in a minute 20. Misfits gonna look for that now as well. But like you just said, they just had a stack of Elder Drake and Baron there. Not quite able to end the game, and this is where the big question marks start to come over Misfits. Do they have the talent to end this game? Do they have the composition to go for this? It looks like the side of MnM just want to run it down mid. Actually going to see a little bit of a back there. Only Angel just going to tank up a little bit. That's a nice little rotation, but they may lose more than they bargained for. Yeah, the box have been stopped. They're both going for the 3 or 1-3-1. I don't know if they really want to go for this right now.
This is it. They have to go.
They have to get somebody there. Crispberg taking solo, but flashes away. They jump straight in onto the Brom. There is Rengar, though. he finally gets his first kill. Jokerism trying to go ham. He gets one, but the base might be in danger. They can't end the game. It is going to have to be a desperate save from the side of Camille, or sorry, from the side of the Malphite, but he doesn't quite get there in time. The Galio stopped the back, but Jokerism is back. They've taken the Nexus turrets. Braum has gone down, but there's now a TP coming in for the side. He may be able to kill him off. He doesn't quite get it. No, there's the ultimate coming in, but Tarek's in with his ultimate, and I just don't know what's going to happen right now. There's the resurrection. They will kill off Shikari. He will not get the reset though, but now Skarner's come in. Now that it's going to try and delay, Corky will be up in 20 seconds, but will they be able to do it? I think Special can give the special with the minions, with the backing of his team. Everybody going in. Special will take down Scudzy and end this game. It was fantastic from the side of MnM. We see the runaround coming around, but it's not going to be enough. Misfits take the win.
MnM showed life at the end. They looked like they might have been able to do it, but they dove that little bit too deep.